Mirror Colors Phantom World Episode 1. This is animated by Kyoto Studios, which is the same studio behind Full Metal Panic, Fumofu, and a bunch of other series. Now, I love those series, and just as the name implies from the title, this anime is very colorful. So, overall, I was actually surprised and a little bit impressed at how good this first episode was. Now, this was not, I wouldn't say this is the best anime out there, but it was definitely above average. It definitely did impress. There were a lot of interesting things about this anime, and I think it has a lot of potential, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. So let's talk about this first episode. Our MC, well, there's technically two MC characters, but the one who's stronger, who's powerful, who's fierce is a female lead. And I like that. I really like it when an anime goes outside the norm and has a female strong character. And this girl might just be best girl of 2016. Like she must be the best girl. She was hilarious. She's a badass. She's everything you like on a female character. Like she's great. She's great. Our guy, on the other hand, this dude, he is a wuss, man. He's scared. He's using the Book of Torah to capture these phantoms. So I'll talk about that soon. But this guy has no fighting skills at all. And he's definitely gonna be somebody who's gonna get the most development. That's what I predict. So our female character, she's definitely gonna be the strong one and the one who's always gonna keep on pushing and leading. But the anime is gonna focus on the male character because he's the one who needs to catch up. He is the one who is falling behind in his team and needs the most development. So there is a lot of room for improvement, which I like that. But another thing that I liked of this episode is the way they introduced the characters was done really, really well. So you have this action scene in the beginning, the girls kicking ass, there was a little bit of fan service and panty. Oh, it was great, it was great. So they're fighting these things called Phantom. In the near future, there was a virus. The virus took over the population, but it didn't kill humans. What it did instead is alter the human brain, and now the brain can see things that were there before, but we couldn't see. So for example, when you have a cat and a dog kind of like barking and screaming at a wall or at thin air, you know, there's theories that say that there's something there, but we can't see it. So our brains have been altered to see that. But the question remains, if those phantoms were always there, how come suddenly, if our brain was altered, where our minds can perceive these things in three-dimensional space and can see things that we couldn't see before but that were always there, why is it that suddenly these phantoms can interact with the physical world, and if they touch you or push you, you feel that gravity, that force, and that exertion of energy? So what happened? Something else must have happened besides our brains being altered. There must have been some sort of change in three-dimensional space and in the laws of physics or something. I'm not really sure, but it doesn't matter because this is anime and you have to put aside reality and common sense and science and just accept it as it is. All right, so that's what I'm gonna say about that. Very good episode. The animation was great. The color is very colorful, like I said before. The music, I think, was on the right path. Great opening, all of that nicely done. But let's talk a little bit more about these phantoms and the way they were introduced. By the end of the episode, it's pretty darn obvious what a phantom is. And then the anime dropped the ball. So they said, all right, one of the characters was like, you know what phantoms are, right? Of course you know what phantoms are, but let me explain what phantoms are anyways. And then for like a whole minute or 2 minutes, this guy was explaining what a phantom is to someone who already knows what a phantom is because she eats phantoms that's what she does. She has a special ability. So it kind of felt like they saw the audience as not being able to understand what a phantom is. And to be honest, your audience is not dumb. They're intelligent. So the way you handled the episode, it was pretty obvious what a phantom was. You didn't have to shout it to our face, oh, this is what a phantom is. I have to explain it in A, B, C, and D because you don't understand. So I feel like they could have just not done that and just shown it us because it's pretty obvious what a phantom was. But besides that moment, the rest of the episode was great, especially towards the end when you had the limbo scene and the trees and that jiggle effect, those opais. Okay, that was awesome. Not because of the fan service. I'm not a fan of fan service, but because of the comedy that it brought. I said it before. That's why I love Nanatsu no Taisai, because I don't like fan service. But when you have fan service and you add comedy to it, like Nanatsu no Taisai or Prison School, then suddenly the fan service becomes a way of storytelling, a way of driving the story and just making the episode more enjoyable. So I thought the fact that there was comedy to that was great. Is this a comedy anime? No, it's not, but it definitely has some comedic elements. Of course, the studio behind this, like I said, they've made Full Metal Panic, which is an action show but has comedy to it, Full Metal Panic Fumofu, and a bunch of other anime. So overall, I think this was above average. I still don't think it's a must watch. You have to wait and see. I might give it a 3-episode rule, but I definitely do think it went above average. It exceeded my initial expectations, and best girl of 2016, at least for now, she might be in this anime. I mean, this RMC, she's great. She's great. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this episode. Do you think they did a good job with the storytelling? And do you think that this is definitely on your top list of must-watch anime of the winter of 2016? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.
Bando-san. Sawami?
Fuck me. No, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. Now I'm in the